Hello, everyone. This is Riley, and welcome to Otherworldly Fiction. Today I'll be going over the 10 parallels between Twilight and the works of Jane Austen. If you're interested, you can also read the blog version in the link below. Just check the video description. Stephenie Meyer has made a point of being a Jane Austen fan, given that Bella has Austen's complete works in a giant book. Among the collection is Pride and Prejudice, which is one of the greatest influences on the first Twilight volume. If you're interested so far, please remember to subscribe. I'll be dissecting more literature as I continue. Now, the first similarity I want to point out is the use of the enemies to lovers trope. When Edward and Bella first meet, Edward wants to murder Bella and suck her dry. With him leaning away, Bella worries she stinks. It's not a good start. Mr. Darcy, upon meeting Elizabeth, implies she's not pretty enough. Ouch! She sees him as proud and writes him off. Both relationships have a rocky start, though later confessions and that long-awaited kiss set things right. The next similarity is in the familial resistance of both Edward's family and that of Mr. Darcy. Rosalie has it out for Bella and plots with Jasper to kill the human girl. Though not family by blood, Bingley is like a brother to Darcy. He represents Alice, urging his brother to give things a chance. Bingley's wealthy and snooty sisters represent Rosalie. They do everything they can to drag Mr. Darcy away from Elizabeth. My third point involves rejected suitors. Elizabeth has to reject Mr. Collins. Did I mention he's also her cousin? Bella gets the privilege of rejecting Mike, who, according to her, has taken on the qualities of a golden retriever. There's also the advances of Chess Club Eric, and Tyler, who almost ran over Bella with his van. When Mr. Collins gets shot down by Elizabeth, he goes with Lizzie's gal pal instead, Charlotte Lucas. A disappointed Mike settles for Bella's friend, Jessica, but it's obvious both guys haven't gotten over their first crushes. Another similarity lies in the wealth gaps between the female protagonists and their male leads. Both Mr. Darcy and Edward are uber rich. Lizzie and Bella, by contrast, are considered poor. The books promote the idea that love should come first, but there's some definite wish fulfillment in the idea that your husband could be gorgeous and loaded with moolah to boot. Bella and Lizzie also share the same types of parental figures. Mrs. Bennet and Renee, Bella's mother, are perpetually trapped in the mindsets of teenage girls. Bella and Lizzie have always had to be the voices of reason. Mr. Bennet and Charlie are both socially awkward. They dislike social events and are big introverts, though it's worth noting that both fathers care deeply for their daughters. The next similarity between the texts comes from the propensity of the male lead to keep secrets. Edward being a vampire is the bombshell, but he's also killed people, and he sparkles. That's a lot to unpack. Mr. Darcy narrowly avoided a scandal when his sister, Georgiana, almost eloped with the rake Wickham. Both men need to come clean with their love interest. Until they do, even their confessions of love are awkward. Mr. Darcy berates Lizzie's family, and Edward tells Bella he wants to kill her. Very romantic. A simpler connection between the two works stems from the use of letters. In Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy leaves Lizzie a lengthy letter and a dramatic tell-all. Edward just leaves Bella small notes, including one that reads, "Be safe." In a world where people have embraced email, it's a nice nod to the romance a physical piece of paper could bring. Also similar in both works is the use of love triangles. The term love triangle didn't exist in those days, but people were devouring plots with tangled love interests. When Edward moves out of the picture, Bella spends time with and develops feelings for Jacob Black. When Mr. Darcy leaves town, Lizzie develops an affection for Mr. Wickham. Eventually, all is made right with the world, and the women return to their original love interests, but the would-be rivals decide that much younger family members are the next best thing. Mr. Wickham marries Lizzie's 16-year-old sister. Jacob imprints on Bella's daughter. Talk about awkward. The next similarity I want to discuss comes in the relationship between Bella and the other Bennet sisters. Unlike Lizzie, Bella is an only child, but she carries traits over from Lizzie's siblings. From Jane, Bella gains her goodness and habit of sacrificing herself for others, even to her own detriment. From Lizzie's sister Marianne, Bella inherits a hatred of dances and an obsession with books. Lydia and Kitty aren't apparent in Bella's personality, though their boy-crazy tendencies come through in the Mike-obsessed Jessica Stanley. The final connection between the Twilight Saga and the works of Jane Austen comes in the shape of absent love interests and some less than happy leading ladies. Whether it be Edward Ferrars, Mr. Bingley, or Willoughby, men in Austen's books have a habit of disappearing just as their lady partners think their futures are secure. With their true loves gone, these women are then left to pine. Though Eleanor Dashwood and Jane Bennet bottle up their sorrow, Marianne Dashwood goes to pieces, having no shortage of crying fits. Edward Cullen exhibits the behavior of an Austen-leading man when he suddenly runs out on Bella. Eventually, he returns, but not before Bella spends months in lovelorn misery. These elements, whether they be unrequited love, triangles, rejected suitors, rich and handsome men, or just plain true love, have staying power. It is this use of Austen tropes and plot points that may contribute to Twilight's success, despite its flaws. Whatever you think of the saga, there's something to be said for a story that's Jane Austen meets vampires. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe and like. Have you noticed any other similarities between the two works? Let me know in the comments below.